Okay, so our first approach to this was, as building standards were amended, we'd embed sustainability into them. And for 2007, we introduced quite a few measures. The first one listed there, the Lifetime Homes Principles, really, really significant as far as accessibility is concerned for dwellings. And we also introduced a measure that brought back rotary dryers for drying, washing, and also having a space that was inside the house for drying, washing, that had a humidistat for controlling mechanical ventilation. You've heard obviously about the energy standards that we introduced. 2009, we improved on the hard standing guidance that we gave. And then for 2010, we've got a lot of measures. Just coming in October, we've got the energy ones you've heard about. Noise, that's again quite a significant hike. We've done the research with Napier on that. The standards that are introduced for party walls will be to a level that at that point just about all the complaints will dry up. We have security standards for vulnerable doors, vulnerable windows. And last but not least, we're introducing sprinklers for schools. And that's quite a change in direction for us, because to date, sprinklers have always been installed for life safety purposes or for assisting the fire service. But we've done the research. We lose about a school every year to fire, and the research has shown that if they were sprinklered, we wouldn't lose these buildings. So, okay. But the wording in the Act was furthering the achievement of sustainable development. How do we go a step further? Well, there's a number of drivers here, and I've again peppered this slide with covers of various documents. We have the Low Carbon Building Standards Strategy for Scotland, Sullivan Report, obviously recommending improvements to energy efficiency and to making reductions in terms of CO2 emissions. We've also got the Climate Change Scotland Act, which has Section 72 provisions in there, which on the face of it looks like it's kind of a reworded form of SPP6, which will obviously fall as soon as the next set of standards come in. And down at the bottom here we have the Code for Sustainable Homes, that's used south of the border. And on the right-hand side here we have the Scottish Sustainable Communities, which is a planning initiative. Several developments, very much throughout Scotland, looking at the space and place aspects. Okay, so technical handbooks as they currently exist, we have 6 sections. We have structure, fire, environment, safety, noise, and energy. This is the new cover. As most of you probably will be aware, we moved back into core Scottish Government 2 years ago. We lost the agency status at that point, and obviously our branding has changed. But I think the blue cover is quite a fetching cover. But to further sustainability, we could end up with an extra mandatory standard for a sustainability label. And we could ask that owners, when they're doing work on buildings or building new buildings, that they have to achieve a certain level of sustainability. And then there would also have to be a statement or a label which would have to be fixed to the building. What we'd like to do with this is, well, as I said, goes without saying, further embed sustainability into building regulations. We've got a working party arranged. We've got them, they've met 3 times now. And they're checking all the guidance that we're busy producing to see that it's competent, verifiable, enforceable, and also making sure it doesn't require complex assessment. And they're defining aspirational upper levels. So who would this be for? Well, I think actually maybe better starting at the bottom of the slide. It's actually for everybody that applies for building warrant. And we see that there are benefits here that developers and clients, well, they would get a bit of consistency and clarity. These aspirational levels would be set in building regulations, and it would be a one-stop shop for these levels to reach. Local authorities, some of them set their own sustainability standards. They may be encouraged to actually just choose the standards that are in the technical handbooks. And also owners, social landlords or designers get environmental recognition. This is work in progress. So we have working titles for the labeling system. We have up there we have bronze. That may change the title, but we think that for October 2010, our building regulations will have gone so far that we can actually benchmark those standards as the bronze level. We then look at the aspirational level, and bronze plus might be able to include a low or zero carbon technology, microgeneration, something like that. Because bear in mind, current building regulations don't mandate these technologies. Silver level, well, would be maybe looking at the 2013 standards for CO2 emissions. Also maybe having a true energy standard for space heating. We don't have a true energy standard for space heating at the moment. We have a carbon in our energy section. It's quite bizarre. We have a CO2 emissions standard, and we have a whole lot of U values and efficiency levels that people have to meet, and they all generally make up the energy side of things. 2 minutes, right? But sustainability is more than just CO2 and energy. So we'd probably be looking at things like home working, study space, accessibility. So we're looking at maybe a mobility space, or bicycle, pram, store, that sort of thing. And we've also got the scope to go a bit further for gold. Similar, we've probably got the same task for non-domestic buildings. It's a bit more of a challenge because there's more types of non-domestic buildings. I would have to say that probably a silver level for a hotel would probably be different to a silver level for a school. Financing it, well, other sustainability labels all come with a whole other sort of stream of people that end up having to walk through the building. There's assessors and what have you. We reckon that this would not be such a burden because it would be within the building standard system. So there would be no separate assessor cost, as it would all be wrapped up in the verification fee, which is covered by the building warrant. Entry level recognises compliance with the standards. Therefore, you must comply with the standards, so there's no additional cost there. One thing that we would do is do a bit of research on the capital costs of upper levels, the aspirational levels, because we'd obviously want to make sure people knew what they were getting into. Better buildings do cost a wee bit more money. We're doing a bit of work on this with the working party at the moment. As I say, we've had 3 meetings so far. We hope to get some satellite groups together for the late summer. We're probably going to be speaking to house builders, research fraternity. We'll obviously have to deal with the property federation people as well. And we'll have a consultation in autumn 2010, hopefully. Dissemination of this, well, winter, spring. It starts to get a bit sort of a bit more woolly at this stage because it still is, it's very much work in progress. Anyway, what I'll say is that technical detail on energy, speak to Stephen Scott. He leads on this. And in terms of sustainability, it's Stuart Watson. Although I have to say, Stuart, it is work in progress, so he may not be able to answer all your questions on it. And there's our website down at the bottom there.
Okay, thanks very much, Gavin. Thank you.